None of these credit limits are real. Only the Bitcoin in cold storage is real. Will Bitcoin be above 37,000 around May 2025? Let's follow up and see if this works out. So, oh my God. Jesus Christ. This is actually worse than I thought in the first couple of seconds. Oh my God. Welcome back to Credit Reddit. And if you're unfamiliar, Credit Reddit is a series where I scour the internet for the most interesting and actually just the worst absolute decision anyone could possibly make in their entire life, which happens to be this video. So this was a story that was sent to me just yesterday by a friend, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh boy, we got another. So this is a story that was actually posted on Reddit/Bitcoin, but I figured it involves credit cards, and if it involves credit cards, it involves me. And by extension, all of you guys as well. And it actually wasn't even originally posted on Reddit itself. It was actually posted on now X, twitter.com. So you can see from the title right here, it's I maxed out 8 credit cards using 0% 18 to 21 month balance transfers to buy Bitcoin. And you can already see the foreshadowing on some of the comments here. It doesn't look good. Okay, so this guy named Sunny Poe with a clown emoji, a world emoji, and a verified checkmark, which did he get in a legit way or did he pay for it? Let's see, 4,000 followers? I'm not sure. And just looking at his profile, I mean, this guy is all about Bitcoin. I mean, he's got, okay, so we got Leonardo DiCaprio on the $100 bill. Cool, that's a Leo Franklin, very nice. And we have his cover photo is Bitcoin equals either it's going to go up or it's going to do nothing. It's not going to go down. It's absolutely not going to go down. You can also see on his profile, hashtag Bitcoin. So we already know, just looking at his profile alone, this guy is, he's kind of all in. I mean, I could just tell. You don't even have to show me your portfolio. This dude is all in on Bitcoin, and you cannot convince him otherwise. So this guy puts out a tweet, and he says, the U.S. government has printed and given at least $100 billion in military support to other countries in the last 2 years. Interesting opening. So over the course of November, I've opened up every single 18 to 21 month intro APR balance transfer credit cards, which if you're unfamiliar, basically these credit cards will give you a sign-on bonus that if you sign up, you can now transfer the balance of that you had on other cards to this new card and pay 0% interest on it for almost 2 years, which is how these banks will entice you to get your business, right? So this way you're not paying those 20, 30% APRs on the debt that you accrued on all your other cards. Okay, so that's what he's doing, but he said, I'm taking all of the fake credit available to me, so fake credit he's calling it, to me, and giving it to Bitcoin. And he maxed out every single card, and then he lays out every single card that he did this with, that being the maxing out the City Simplicity card, maxing out the City Diamond Preferred card, maxing out the City Double Cash, okay, some good cash back there, maxing out the Wells Fargo Reflect, Chase Freedom, US Bank Platinum, Chase Late Edge, and the Bank of America Bank AmeriCard. None of these credit limits are real. Only the Bitcoin in cold storage is real. Will Bitcoin be above 37,000 around May 2025? Let's follow up and see if this works out. So, oh my God. Jesus Christ. This is actually worse than I thought in the first couple of seconds. Oh my God. You know, it's honestly immediately, I'm feeling the nostalgia. I'm feeling the nostalgia of 2020 and 2021. Remember when the Dogecoin millionaire did this? Remember when he took all of his life savings? I think it was like $90,000, and then he maxed out all the credit cards he had. I think it was another $90,000. He put $180K into Dogecoin, and then soon thereafter, it skyrocketed up to $3 million, and he was able to take some money out and eventually pay all those debts down. So that worked out for him. Until it didn't, because now his portfolio is still 3x what he put into it, still worth like $500,000. But of course, that's just one guy, one crazy guy in one perfect market for that to actually work. So immediately I'm reminiscing of that time, and I'm seeing similar language here, especially when he gets into none of these credit limits are real. Only Bitcoin and cold storage is real, right? So first, let's go into all the comments. Let's see what people are saying about this, and then we'll have a talk after the fact, because this is Jesus Christ. This guy, Eric Firo, said, greed is the fast track to poverty. Yes, I agree with you that you swapped your USD for a more valuable and appreciating asset. However, using leverage is never smart. One may only hope to be lucky. Wish you best of luck. To which Sunny Poe replies, where is the leverage in this? Can you expand? Eric then replies, you use that money you don't own and you have to pay it back. And what happens if I don't pay it back? He replies. This is like a great novel so far. You mean personal insolvency and keeping your Bitcoin secret? Because if you don't pay, they will come for your stuff. I'm not rebellious enough to consider that as of now. They come for unsecured debt? I highly doubt that. They send it to collections, and then they jerk them around for a while. Then they settle for 40 cents on the dollar. No one comes for anything other than houses and cars. Jesus Christ. So basically, let's just hope for collections and then probably bankruptcy at that time when that happens in the next 18 to 21 months, because, well, he probably doesn't have a house or a car. He's probably just living at home, and he can forego the next 7 years of his life on this almost 2-year gamble. Jeez. Okay. Bitcoin Dennis says, the only thing risked is the credit score. I would be doing this as well, however, the wife does not agree yet. Okay. This is, I'm not sure if I should be on this side of the internet right now. This is, oh my god. Sonny Poe also said, correct, I do not care about my credit score, nor do I need a good one for my day-to-day life anymore. He's obviously done well enough that he doesn't have to worry about his credit score, right? So if that's the case, he has a house, he has a car, hopefully fully paid off. I mean, but then he said no one's going to come for them. Something doesn't add up here. I don't believe he does not care about his credit score. I think he just doesn't care about his life, probably. This guy asks, how are you actually converting the credit cards to cash to then buy Bitcoin? I've been able to do this via mining. And then he says, by doing balance transfers using the checks that all these cards came with or online. So he said, it's not something new or some hack. I simply Googled what all of the 0% 18-month and longer balance transfer cards are, and I applied for all of them. Then I waited for all of them to come in the mail, and they all come with these blank checks. Then I wrote my name and the max amounts and went to Wells Fargo, my checking account, and deposited them all. Then I transferred all of it to Coinbase and bought Bitcoin and moved it to my cold storage. Then I logged into all my credit cards, online bankings, made profiles, and put it on auto pay to make the minimum monthly payments. This is like $70 per card. Now I just have to wait till May 2025 and then decide what I want to do. Now this guy Ryan's asking the real questions. Okay, so he kind of got it out of him. He asked, is this getting you more than a coin? If I may ask, just curious, as I'm aware of the limits these cards can have, and you've got an excellent score to get a top amount, you just put away multiple coins. And he mentioned more than 2. So actually, what's the price of Bitcoin at the moment? So he put this a couple days ago on the 25th, so it looks like it was $37,000 that he spent. So he got more than a couple coins. So, okay, so he maxed out like $80,000. Okay, let's put it that way. $80,000 on Bitcoin. My god. My god. This is basically, like I just mentioned, like Dogecoin Millionaire maxing out his credit cards around $90,000 for Dogecoin. And Ryan says, epic. Can't lose. This guy said, I like your mindset, but those payments will get nasty after promo. And so will the price of Bitcoin right around then. Oh my god. So some people might not be familiar, but hopefully he read the fine print on some of these credit cards, because as per some of the intro terms, some of them do say, not all of them, but some of them say that after the promotional period, like 18 months, if the balance was not paid in full, then you'll be in charge of all of the back interest that you didn't pay over the course of those 18 months. So no, you won't just start accruing interest in 18 months. You'll actually owe the entire 18 months worth of interest all in a lump sum on top of whatever you borrowed on that credit card, which is infinitely more scary. I mean, if you're just talking $80,000 and the average APR is around 20% on these cards, I mean, you're talking, that'll end up being like $16,000 a year in interest. Now, I mean, that's probably going to be upwards to like over $20,000 if it is that specific credit card that does charge you all of those back interest. Like, you're going to be at, if you, oh my god. I mean, you're going to be in the hole on over $100,000 easily. And he says here his credit score is at 787 at the moment, so pretty good, you know. Good credit score, at least. Wow, looks like there's a little bit of alumni status here with this guy named Clean Cloud, aka Newport Beach. Not bad, not a bad area, I guess. Way ahead of you. I did this in 2020 when Bitcoin was at 7K. He took out $70,000 in debt on his credit cards. Bought all Bitcoin, didn't pay back, went to collections. Then I asked the collections agent how they plan to get the money back. They said they'll get a judgment. I said, good luck, no money in my bank. Now, you know what's interesting? Even across the Reddit thread and the Twitter thread, all the comments are oddly supportive. Like, I don't see that many people that are actually going against him and saying like, oh, this is stupid, this is dumb, you know, you're going to ruin your life. I don't really see that many comments. Now, I don't know, is this just the Bitcoin community that everyone is just completely, you know, in it? If you know what I mean? Like, odd to see that there's no one really like hating on this. Okay, so what do I think about all this? Okay, so honestly, what can I say about this guy? One thing I would probably mention is I've seen a lot of people want to do this, and I've seen a lot of people actually do this in the forums over the last few years, being on Wall Street Bets, etc. These are people that, you know, usually aren't necessarily the most well off. These are usually people that do have their first, couple tens of thousands of dollars, and now they're trying to take as much leverage as possible so they can, this way they can hit the hundreds and hundreds of thousands worth of dollars. And time again, these people, more often than not, end up losing. They end up losing it all, and or worse. I mean, how many people did we have to see in 2020, everyone using leverage, whether it being, high margin investing in Robinhood and some of these other brokerages that were allowing so much leverage on some of these stocks, as well as just being able to buy Bitcoin. I mean, how many different roller coasters have we been on in the last few years? I mean, we saw the highs and the lows in just the last couple of years, so there's no telling what Bitcoin is going to do in the next 18 to 21 months. It might not even be a thing. People might say that's crazy to say because it's been around for 15 years, but look, it might not even exist. He knows what's going to happen to Bitcoin, and the fact that he has 8 guaranteed credit cards fully maxed out, like Bitcoin might be guaranteed, might not, but what is guaranteed is over $100,000 worth of debt, which, okay, sure, you could say, okay, I'll, judgment, pay 40 cents on the dollar, which, let's be honest, he's not going to pay 40 cents on the dollar. It's $40,000. That's still a lot of money. But also, he might just be saying, he's probably just going to say, I'll do bankruptcy because he doesn't care about anything else anyway. I'll wait 7 years and then I can start taking out debt again. Who really knows? Maybe he doesn't have a house or a car at this moment. He's just hoping that he'll get into the riches in the next couple of years. But even on top of that, a lot of it is short time thinking, because what if in the next 18 to 21 months he finds a life partner who maybe he's with somebody, I don't know, is he married, is he single? What if you find a life partner or spouse? How are you going to tell them this? How is anyone going to trust you with money when you do something like this? And if maybe they do trust you and this bet doesn't work out, you're not only foregoing your life, you're foregoing their lives and then your kids' lives by extension. You're just further prolonging this spiral of debt that you're going to be continuing going on with this gambling mindset for the foreseeable future. The only way that I've seen that most people make their money in the world via just, if we're talking like the investment world, real estate, but like stocks and Bitcoin and stuff, is they just did nothing, the hardest thing you could do in life, and do that for a long period of time. Wait 3 years, wait 6 years, 10, 30 years. You need to be thinking about time in multi-decades, because you absolutely cannot know. I've been through it. I've been through the craziness of all the market. I know all of the different tumultuous times it can possibly go through. It's irrational, and it's not for the faint of heart. So, but think about how much time you will lose and how much more money you could have made had you did something else with your time, and maybe even use that $80,000 towards a business. Who knows? And didn't just like have it sitting in Bitcoin in a while, where you have to keep working your job day in and day out, and you have this worry in the back of your mind, like, oh, I mean, yeah, sure, it's only $500 in minimum payments you have to pay on the cards, but like, hey, wait a second, maybe if I do have to pay all these back interest, I'm going to have to pay $20,000 in interest. That's like my entire income for the entire year. That's my whole salary. Like, what am I supposed to do? It just gives me anxiety, and I don't support it. At the very least, do it the Anthony Venture way. This way it's free and clear and debt-free, right? I outlined it in this whole video here where I talked about how I was able to sign up for a bunch of American Express credit cards and within 3 years earn enough points to actually cash them out via the Charles Schwab card for around $5,000 in cash money that I could go to buy a house, or I could go buy stocks, or even buy Bitcoin if you're in this guy's case. And it's a lot safer, and it's free and clear in that case. So, if you want to see that video, it's right here. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you for the next one. This is crazy, man. What's going on here? What's the world doing?